It is my honor to join you to talk about the state of Pennsylvania, and specifically about Governor Wolf's 2016-17 budget address. To say that many of us are disappointed, given the tenor and substance of his remarks, would be an understatement. The Pennsylvania General Assembly is a separate and equal branch of government. Governor Wolf had the opportunity to come in and outline a vision for a more prosperous Pennsylvania. Unfortunately, he did not do that. It was in many ways an elitist approach, a lecture that revised history and used fear-mongering rhetoric to justify renewed demands for enormous and unjustified tax increases. If you remember, last March, Wolf called for a $13 billion tax hike in just 2 years on Pennsylvania citizens and businesses. He wanted to increase the personal income tax by 20%, the sales tax by 10%, and called for an expansion of the sales tax to include items like daycare, senior care, and professional services. On Tuesday, unfortunately, we learned that little has changed. We all know how difficult it is to balance a family budget, to save for things like college tuition, family vacation, new washer and dryer. In many ways, it really was an approach that was an affront. It's an insatiable appetite for increased taxation and spending, taking more of your hard-earned money, without anybody really thinking that they're going to get more out of state government. Simply put, he believes he knows better how to spend your money than you do, while spending absolutely no time discussing any of those details. He spent time chastising the legislative body that sent him 3 responsible fiscal budgets, one in June, one in September, and right before the holidays. The last budget, in fact, spent 3.6% more than last year's budget, while at the same time not increasing personal income taxes or sales taxes. We have a vision for a better Pennsylvania. It begins with policies that create good-paying, family-sustaining jobs. If you have family-sustaining jobs, you're going to have good communities and good schools. First of all, we don't need a tax environment that drives job creators to other states. We should be placing a renewed emphasis on cutting onerous regulations, improving employer-labor relations, removing barriers to growth, incenting infrastructure development, and continuing to facilitate private sector job creation. Secondly, we have to continue to be responsible fiscal stewards for the taxpayers of Pennsylvania. We need to develop innovative and popular policies that really get more out of government without paying more of your tax dollars. In the first instance, why don't we privatize the sale of wine and spirits? That will bring in additional revenues while also reducing costs. We need to eliminate agencies and programs that have been outdated and no longer serve in the best interest of everyday citizens. And we have to address long-term budgetary cost drivers. The pension debt in Pennsylvania is at $53 billion. The public sector needs to move into the defined contribution space like 401ks, like the private sector has been since the 90s. We'll protect existing employees and retirees, but new hires need to move into a 401k type plan. As you know, the governor vetoed both of those reforms in June. We need to restore integrity to state government. And when it comes to changing the way Harrisburg does business, let me tell you what we just did. For the 3rd straight session, House Republicans introduced a constitutional amendment to reduce the size of the state legislature. In the last 2 sessions, our Senate colleagues did not take that up. But this year, the constitutional amendment to reduce the size of the House from 203 members to 151 members was passed by the state Senate. Now, to change the Constitution, you need to do it in 2 separate sessions. So we need to do this again next session in 17-18 before it goes to a vote of the public. We're doing what we said we would do. We're reducing the size of the legislature and reducing the cost of state government to take our body from 203 members to 151 members. We are leading by example. We hold public officials accountable to the constituencies they serve. We are disappointed that Wolf has not taken the time to go and talk to everyday people. It's obvious. But let me reassure you that the members of the House Republican caucus, our legislators, are back home talking to everybody and knowing exactly what people are concerned about. They want to keep more of their hard-earned money where it belongs, with them. We're there to protect taxpayers and to make government more efficient. So thank you for your time, and my best to you and your families. And may God bless our Commonwealth and our country. Thank you.